Hello, hi, welcome to this evening's Sing by Sight Bite-size special. I've got a real treat in store for you this evening, guys. We're going to look at chromatic movement, up and down a chromatic scale. This has been requested by a couple of you out there, so I hope you enjoy this session. Before we carry on, a little bit of housekeeping. If you enjoy what you hear tonight, please head over to my website, Vocal Vista. You'll see it on the screen, and check out my sight singing course, fabulous online sight singing course, Sing by Sight, full of absolutely amazing stuff for contemporary commercial music singers, pop, music theatre, jazz, soul, R&B, all that. And also, guys, after tonight, this video is going to be on our YouTube channel, so check that out if you want to recap and look at the video again. Also, do subscribe and click the bell for notifications, because I'm going to keep putting stuff up there. I am keeping putting stuff up there, so you'll get notifications every time I put stuff on, I put material on the YouTube channel. Right, what am I going to talk about? As I say, I'm going to talk about chromatic movement. This is really exciting movement, guys. It really is. Some singers find it okay, some singers find it a little bit tricky. Now, this isn't exactly entry-level material, okay? So tonight I'm talking more about, tonight I'm talking more about stuff that's for slightly more advanced sight singers. But there is something for the entry-level sight singers to sing, so please hang on in there. You will get your moment, and it's a great moment as well. So what is chromatic movement? And what are chromatic notes? What is this? Basically, when you sing the very next note to the one you're singing, going up or going down, it's chromatic movement. It's where you move in half tones. Some people call this semitones. Some people call this half steps. It's not a whole tone, it's a half tone. Now, what you are going to see on the screen now is a chromatic scale written out for you. This is theoretically correct, and I'm going to play it for you. It's that type of melodic movement. As I say, some singers find this tricky, so I'm going to explain it to you this evening, and we've got some stuff to sing. Now, with contemporary commercial music, there's a couple of ways you can be given chromatic movement. There's a couple of ways that you can be asked to sing chromatic movement. The first way I'm going to deal with you, we're not actually going to look at any music for. I want you to get your ears working, basically. And it's where your chromatic movement is supported by chords. Basically, the chords support you, and the chords kind of lead you. The chord progressions you're listening to lead you. So let's get a look at that. Let's start looking at it. What I'm going to do, you've got to sing. This is really early in the session, guys. I'm asking you to sing. I hope you're ready. What I am going to do is play a chord progression. And I'm going to play the chord, and you listen to the notes for beats 1 and 2, and you sing for beat 3 and 4. Okay? And now I'm going to tell you what you're going to sing. You're going to start on the tonic of the key I'm in, and then you're going to come down in half tones. You're going to move down in semitones, and it's going to be fairly straightforward because my chords are going to support you. Check this out. I'm going to do it first. I'm going to do there's 2 exercises. I'm going to do them really steady. There is no point me rushing them because you won't be able to do them. So steady goes, steady goes. Check it. So I'll give you 2 bars in. 3, 4, 2, 2. Now listen to what I'm doing. I want you to sing it with me. Can you hear how the chords are leading you onto your note? Let's start. Let's have a go together. 2 bars in. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3. Are you ready? And 1, 2. Yeah! 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 Now go up. Yeah! try it once more. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm dreaming. Yeah. Yeah. Up. Yeah. And I just added a little tag on the end there. Sorry, I realized I didn't change my bass note and went to sleep. Okay, that is it in a major key. But it doesn't matter what key you're in. It doesn't matter me saying to you, you're in a major key, or me saying to you, you're in a minor key, because what you're doing is responding to the chords, and you're moving in chromatic intervals and you're moving chromatically through the piece. To show you this, to show you the fact it doesn't matter if it's major or minor, I'm going to do a little chord progression in the minor. We are going to do exactly the same thing, guys. So try and leap in the first time. Don't wait for me to sing it to you. Try and leap in on the first time. You start on the tonic and you're going to go down. And you're going to go down. And then when I need to do the little turnaround to get back to the tonic, you just move up a semitone, half tone, and back down a half tone. Okay, so that's going to be your starting note. Let's have a go at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ooh. Ooh. Tone, ooh, ooh, repeat, ooh, 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 yeah. Okay, and if that went faster and if that went a bit more funky, that would be really good fun. So what was I asking you to do? Well, I was asking you to move chromatically, but I was helping you with my chords. That's why I didn't give you music. Now, the other way I've been asked to sing chromatic music, the way I'm going to talk to you now, this is the goal that you're heading for, and it's independent chromatic movement. It's you being able to move chromatically on demand, without the chords helping you, without something leading you. And that is tricky. That's the tricky thing, but that is your goal. That's what you're aiming for. And what I've done is just write out a couple of simple exercises. You're going to see one on the screen now, okay? It's just the chromatic scale coming down. Now, when we saw the chromatic scale before, as the notes went up, they were sharpened, and as they came down, they were flattened. This is the rule. That's the rule when you write out a chromatic scale. But it's one of those music rules that can be broken, because before we even sing this part, let me just talk about this to you very briefly, guys. In bar 1, we're coming down and we've got flats. In bar 2, we're coming down, we've got a flat, but then we've got a sharp. Why do we have a sharp? Why is that note not G flat? Well, because it's anticipating the next chord in the next bar. It's tied over, and the chord in the next bar is D7. And the notes in the chord of D major are D, F sharp, and A. So musically, I have to notate that note as an F sharp. Now, this is something that some singers get, some musicians, never mind singers, get a little bit confused with. Well, why haven't you called it a G flat? You know, there are always reasons, guys, why notes are called what they're called. What you need to know in bar 2 is that the 1, 2, third note you're singing is an A. Then the next note after that's A flat, which is a half tone down. The next note is G, which is a half tone down. The next note is F sharp, which is a half tone down. So you are moving chromatically down the scale. So that's why notes can be called all sorts of things. Now, another thing I want to point out to you is I've written lyrics. Some people have got their own lyrics for chromatic scales. A couple of my friends out there have got great lyrics for chromatic scales. Please feel free to write your own lyrics for chromatic scales. I've just written something crazy, something to fill it in. Write your own, make it personal, okay? I've written this, I'm singing it clear, I'm singing it strong because I know the way that it goes, fine. Lyrics can be a really good way for reminding you of a melodic pattern and a rhythmic pattern actually. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of hanging on to lyrics to remind you. I'm most keen on you being able to move chromatically on your own without any crutches to lean on. But as you're starting off, and if you want to practice your chromatic movement, fine, use some lyrics to remember the movement. Now, another thing I want to say before we actually sing this exercise, I've started off with you coming down. Most exercises we do start going up, and I've started with you coming down. Why? Really good reason why, and this is my top tip. If you find singing chromatic movement, any up or down, difficult, or especially coming down, should I say, or singing a scale of it up and down, start at the top. Start at the top, because if you look at the first two notes are C, the next note is B, and that B is a half tone away from C. So straight away you are singing a half tone, and it's much easier to slip into that half tone movement than when we start off a normal scale. If I said to you, sing a chromatic scale going up, some of you can out there, I know you can, but some of you might go na da and start singing a major scale or a minor scale even, but go da da and they'll, oh drat, that's a whole tone, where's my half tone? And you can't find it because you're locked into that whole tone. So a big tip for you to practice your chromatic movement, come down the scale and go up until you're really solid, then say, I know what I'm doing, I can now go up the scale and come down. So that's why the first exercise I've given you is coming down, okay? Because the very first interval is a half tone, and it's much easier to slide onto the next half tone. Right, we are going to have a go at exercise 1. I've given you ages to look at it, so hopefully while I've been chatting away, you've been looking at this thinking, what on earth is it? All it is, guys, is you coming down a chromatic scale. We are going to have a go at it. It goes through twice, so maybe if you want to, listen to it the first time, leap in with me the second time. Here goes, 2 bars intro, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm singing it clear, I'm singing it strong, 'cause I know the way that it goes. I'm singing it clear, I'm singing it strong, 'cause I know the way that it goes. That's it. That is you singing a chromatic scale coming down. Fab. Simple little exercise, harmless little exercise. Now, the next one we're going to look at is a chromatic scale moving up, okay? And all the way up, actually, we haven't got any of these sharps, flats mixed up. We've got sharps all the way up. In bar 4, we've got an A flat, and we're coming down, and it's an A flat because we're in the chord of F minor. And you might think, how am I going to hear that A flat? Just listen to the chord and sing down the chord, and you'll be all right. Ideally, you need to be able to pitch an A flat clean. But until you can do that, listen to the chord and think, yep, okay, I was nearly there. Yep, I kind of had that. Okay, we're going to have a go. Again, just crazy little lyrics for you to hang on to, so that when you think, how do I sing a chromatic scale? Oh, I know what the little tune was that I was meant to sing with it. And then you're in. So this is tricky, by the way, guys. Before I start, let me just explain. Your first note is C. I am then asking you to sing a C sharp. Your second note on the third beat is a C sharp, and I'm still playing the chord of C major. That's not terribly easy, and what I'm looking for is strong pitch, every note centered, so you're going to have to work really hard. Some people prefer singing chromatic scales without accompaniment, but that's not the real world. And the real world is generally you'll have accompaniment going on, so you need to get to grips and do it. Anyway, here goes. So we're going to have a go at singing it. I haven't taken you through it. Try and sight sing it, guys. The first time, well, both times, I'm going to help you with the melody. I'm going to play it with you. Here goes, 2 bars in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Won't you come along? did you get on with that? I hope you were okay. Listen, you can always go to YouTube tomorrow. This video will be up by tomorrow afternoon. Head over to YouTube and just run these through a couple of times and think, yeah, you know, I think I'm all right. I think I've got it. I think I've got that chromatic movement. Now, as much as we've put it into exercises here, that's not enough. We need to work with a track. And I've got a great track for you tonight, guys. Really excited about this. This is totally different from anything else I've done so far in my bite-sized sessions on Sing by Sight. Now, actually, on my Sing by Sight course, you work with a whole load of different accompaniments. Some of the material you work with has orchestral accompaniments, all sorts going on. But for this piece tonight, I need you to channel your inner Roxy Hart from Chicago and even your inner Sally Bowles from Cabaret. I am pulling from the 1920s, 1930s Berlin cabaret scene for this. So I have written a piece of music for you. Now, a couple of things I'm going to talk about. First thing, every time you pick up a piece of music, what I would love you to do is your routine for reading. I talk about it all the time, guys, because it's so important. It's a routine you get into. Every time you pick up a piece of music, you do exactly the same routine. And what it does is it stops you panicking, stops you getting nervous, stops you picking up a piece of music and looking at it and going, whoa, do not know where to start. No, you know exactly where to start. You start with your treble clef or your bass clef. You start with your clef. Then you look at your key signature. Then you look at your time signature. Then you check all the rhythms. Then you check the notes. Eventually you'll become good enough to check the rhythms and the notes together. Then you check articulation. Is there staccato? What's the phrasing? Then you check lyrics. Then you check the form, the structure, the repeat marks, what's going on. More you can get into that routine for reading, the more secure you'll be, and you'll pick up a piece of music and you'll think to yourself, well, I don't know what I'm going to read, but I do know how I'm going to read it, and I do know where I'm going to start. Okay, so, but I haven't got time to do the whole thing tonight, guys, after that eulogy. I don't have the time to do the whole thing. I'm going to point a few things out to you, though. So, first thing I'm going to point out is the metric modulation. Very exciting. I do love a metric modulation. What that means is this piece of music is swing, okay? It's not straight eights, it's swing. You might think to yourself, oh my word, I don't know how to sing swing. Believe me, the backing track you listen to will make you sing swing. It's rather difficult to sing straight eights behind a swing backing track. So the moment you read that metric modulation, that's what it's called. You can see it now on the screen. The moment you read that, you think, okay, I'm going to lock into the rhythm track. It's going to be swung. The next thing I want you to look at, B flat, in the key signature, we're in D minor. Even if you didn't know that, guys, there's D minor all over the place. First chord D minor, last chord D minor. Think, you know what? My keynote is D minor. I'm looking for Ds, I'm listening for Ds. That's my tonic. Next thing you look at is the time signature. We haven't looked at this yet in our bite-sized sessions. It's cut common. Cut common. You might look at this piece of music and you think, well, I think it's 4/4. And yes, you can read it as 4/4. And most people do. They'll look at a cut common time signature. They'll read it as 4/4. They'll read 4 beats in a bar, but they will feel 2. And when you sing it, you'll feel 2. And you might think, Emer, what on earth do you mean feel 2? The moment the track starts, everything will become clear. You will feel 2. Now, let's do a little bit of analysis of this. Bar 3, guys, I'm moving on really quickly. Again, watch this tomorrow on YouTube. Bar 3, the third note in bar 3 is a G sharp. So straight away, A, G sharp, that's a half tone. What I would say to you guys is download your keyboard app. Download a keyboard app onto your phone, onto your iPad, something like that. I'm not telling you to go away and learn the piano, but I am saying to you, just check it out a little bit and check out the notes, okay? I've done some work on this, actually, and I will do another lesson, actually, another bite size on it. But it's A to G sharp is a half tone. Now, the last note of the bar is also G sharp. Musically speaking, theoretically speaking, I should not have put a sharp in front of that note, but I've done it for a reason. Because you don't know yet, until I tell you, until I point out to you, The moment you see a sharp in a bar, that exact same note is sharp for the whole of the rest of that bar unless it's cancelled. Same with if it's flat for the whole of the rest of the bar, and it's cancelled when it comes to the bar line. So there's G sharps in bar 3 and G sharps in bar 4. End of bar 4, cancelled, it goes back to G natural. So can you tell me why G natural is the first note of bar 5? You might be thinking to yourself, Emer, you just told us it's G natural. So why is G natural written the first bar of note of bar 5? Because it's called a courtesy accidental, and it's just a gentle reminder that you need to sing a natural again. Don't sharpen it anymore. It's just a reminder, because when you're sight singing music, whatever instrument you're playing, notation wise, people know your eyes go quickly, and sometimes you might forget to cancel it, so it's called a courtesy accidental. Right, and the third bar of bar 5 is an F sharp. The last note of bar 5 is also an F sharp, but I've done the correct thing here. I haven't written a sharp because you're not meant to. Okay, listen, that's that taken. That's all of that sort of stuff. What else am I going to say? There is chromatic movement all through this. Now, I have been super kind the first time through this piece because it goes through twice. You can see the repeat marks. First time through, I've played, or the melody is played, on a clarinet. And the second time through, the clarinet drops out and you're on your own, guys. The clarinet picks up again in bar 11 and bar 12 to help you. Because you're not used to this, and I need you to be accurate with your pitch. I don't need any ambiguity. So I'm playing it the first time through. So as it's saying, guys, listen. This is your pitch. This is where you should be. Okay, so let's get the pitch. There's a couple of other points I want to mention in a minute, but you know what? We're going to listen to it. We're going to see how it goes, and we're going to shadow it and see how we get on with our first time through our Chicago Roxy Hart style in context piece of music. Here goes. Clarinet. Now this chromatic movement. Now no clarinet. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that. Now, a couple of things I didn't mention. Oh, the classic counting for this type of piece of music. I think you most probably saw it on the screen. It went 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, any of you who have worked with any ensemble, especially pop bands, you will know this counting really, really well. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. Okay, off you go. But it's counted in 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can feel that. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the feel. That's the cut common time feel. Okay, something else I wanted to mention. Articulation. You've heard it once, so let's get some staccato going. There's staccato all over the place. Please listen to the reference track, listen to the track and think, I need to get this style, but especially bar 9, get that staccato really crisp and accurate notes. That's why I've done it staccato, so you can ping each note. And the final thing I'll say, no lyrics, guys. I need you to concentrate on your pitch. So do all the way through. Right, I'm going to come to the more entry-level part in a moment, but for now we're just reading the solo line. Here goes. Let's have another go at it. Are you ready? Here goes. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our tonic. Do, do, do. There's our starting note. The staccato. Short. Bump. Short. Bump. Now join. Now staccato. How did you get on? Oh, I hope you got a bit more correct. Now, another thing I'm going to say, bar 4. The melody goes do 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 because we've got a B flat in the key signature. And you might think to yourself, it's a B flat in the key signature, I need to sing B flat. What happens if I sing a B natural? Guys, you'd have to be really good to sing a B natural. You'd have to go do 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 do. I don't think you're going to do it. I don't think you're going to do a B natural. So don't worry, you will naturally hear. You'll naturally hear a B flat. Now this time through, I am going to look at the more entry-level part. Guys, entry-level vocalists out there, you're tuning in to the comedy trombone, okay? You've got a fairly straightforward part. D to F, you're just singing up the first 2 notes of the chord of D minor. Do, do, do. That's all you're doing. If you need to, sing an E in the middle of that D to F. Do, do, do. That's it to find the F, but hopefully you can just sing up a minor chord. Then you're coming down in bar 5, do, 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 do. Then you're singing again, do, do, do. And then repeated notes in bar 9, do, 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 do. Get that rhythm. You're matching the solo line at that point, so just lock into them if you're not sure of that rhythm. And then repeat, and bar 11 is just do, 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 rest. Okay, let's do it again. More advanced sight singers, you're on your own now because I am going to work with the entry-level sight singers. So let's have another go at it and I'll sing the entry-level part with you guys. Here goes. 2, 1, 2, 3. There's your tonic. Are you ready? Okay, how did you get on entry level, guys? Hopefully you were there. The rhythm isn't too complicated except for bar 10 and your part isn't too busy, so hopefully you were there. Now we are going to do it once more, and this time I really want you advanced level sight singers to add style to your performance. I have thrown this chromatic piece at you. You're going to work on it from tomorrow. You're going to go to the YouTube channel. You're going to work on it from tomorrow. But I've thrown it at you. I want style now. I want pitch, solid, and I want character in your voice and style. There is no point being the best sight singer on the planet and singing like a robot. And that's what lots of people are guilty of doing when they pick up a piece of music to sight sing. They go into robot mode. No. We're going to do it once more and we're going to have a real laugh and we're going to add feel. We're going to add character to it. You entry level guys, do a few slides to match the trombone if you want. Okay, listen, one more time through, guys. Let's capture the 1920s, 1930s style of this piece of music. Here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and take a bow. Fantastic. I thought the applause were necessary on tonight's piece of music. Listen, well done, well done. Chromatic movement. What is chromatic movement? Chromatic movement is where you're moving up or down in half tones, half steps, semitones. It's exactly the same thing. You're just moving to the very next note up and down. couple of different ways it can be approached. The chords can support you with the movement. You're just kind of moving with the chords, or you do independent chromatic movement. That's what this is, guys, and that is your goal. Even if you have chords supporting you, ideally don't lean on them. Read your part. Okay, always read your part. But what we've just worked on in this piece is your big goal. That's what you're aiming for. Okay, so wow, you've done really well. You've done really well, and I hope you've enjoyed it. As usual, guys, if you've got any element of sight singing, I've done this tonight, like I say, a couple of people have asked for it, requested chromatic movement. If you've got anything you want me to look at, please just drop me a message. I'm absolutely fine covering any element of sight singing. Also, if you have enjoyed this, don't forget it's going to be on the YouTube channel tomorrow. And don't forget to subscribe, and also click on the bell, because then you'll find out when it's been uploaded, and there's lots of other stuff that's going up there as well, guys. And if you'd like to take your sight singing a little bit further, maybe explore it a bit more, study it a bit more, please head over to vocalvista.com, where you can have a go at my sight singing course, Sing by Sight. There's a free trial you can sign up for, just so you can get a taste and see what it's all about. But I hope you've enjoyed tonight's bite-sized session. It's been fabulous. I've really enjoyed it, because I really love writing sight singing music for you. I really love doing exercises, but I also really love getting involved in the music and having dealings and getting involved with the Sing by Sight community. So till next week, I will say goodbye, and everybody take care. Bye.